Thank you for joining me on the podcast today. You could be doing so much with your time, and I want to thank you so much for sitting down or walking or doing the dishes or whatever you're doing while listening to this podcast episode. It really means a lot that you trust me with your personal brand and your video marketing, and you are definitely going to get a lot out of today's episode. Thank you again. Really appreciate it. Your reputation still matters, but in a world where people Google you, AI you, search you, before they even call you, your reputation alone is not going to do all the heavy lifting that it needs to do. Every episode, one clear idea to grow your personal brand and own the camera. Produced on Water and Land. Yes, your personal brand is already doing a lot for you and your business if you're running a business, or it's already doing a lot for your reputation as is, but it could be doing more without you having to do more. Thank you to Diane, who we had this conversation with, and ultimately the question that I'm answering for her in this episode today is, do I really need to create content to build a personal brand, or can I just rely on my reputation and word of mouth? Well, Diane, let's come on a stroll with me. And when I say stroll, I mean standing still because I'm recording a podcast. But come with me on a wonderful journey where I'm going to break it down a little bit for you and answer these questions in parts. So, welcome. If you aren't aware, this is, Unboring Your Brand, Zoe Wood, your video confidence coach. Welcome. I help you shine as the obvious choice using a personalized video toolkit if you are unaware of who I am. But I want to bring you along because your personal brand, which is why you're here, your personal brand is bigger than content marketing or the content you create or the content you put out there. Because content marketing is one tool in a full toolbox to give you the whole picture of not just your personal brand, but putting yourself out there in the world. Of course, I am your video confidence coach, so I may have a little bit of a bias towards video, but it's not everything that I can particularly offer. There is the confidence and the coach part of my name, which are technically 2/3 of what I can potentially focus on and do with the content that I give out to you in my own content. Because I have to admit, this is how you're reaching me. You're reaching me via a podcast, either visually or auditorily, and it's effective. Content marketing has been effective in not just controlling my reputation, which we'll get onto that in a sec, but it also helps you put yourself out there in a measured way. That being said, your content marketing has to be proven to be an effective approach for building trust online. And for me, it has been for well over a decade, and for longer for those people who have been using it effectively and consistently. Because the content marketing is actually spreading your message, or your messages, depending on how limited you have a few. Please don't tell me you have too many, but a few. It spreads your message without you needing to constantly repeat yourself. And you're spreading your message out there because people need to hear from you. People need to hear what you have to say. You have to hear your stories, your wisdom, your expertise, because their AIs can give them step-by-steps, can give them generic slop. Humans don't care about that. Sure, we can use AI for different things, and that's as changing every single goddamn day. But people want wisdom. People want connoisseurship. People want what you have. And in the personal brand that everyone has, mind you, everyone has a personal brand, content marketing is just a method to be able to get it out there, because every video, every audio clip, every image, every GIF, every podcast episode, every method that you are getting yourself out there is constantly building trust and doing the work for you over and over and over and over again, long after you have uploaded it, hit published, and repurposed it. I want to specify for everyone who is joining us, you need to repurpose your content. Do not post it once and then hope it does well. Do it again. Because your personal brand without content can be done. And I have worked with plenty of people who do. Yes, it may be strange coming to the video confidence coach and not getting a video done, but that's just what we end up coming up with for some people, because not that they're unconfident in front of the camera, not because they want to poo-poo video, it's just not effective for what they need at the time. And I would prefer to give you the tools that can help you get that little bit further, get that little bit higher, and then come to me when you're ready for a video. I can do both. And you are able to do both too. Because without video content, the alternative to not having any content online is being in the room every time, doing it live and repeating yourself to every new person that crosses your path. And that can be exhausting. It is exhausting. This is coming from someone who has been networking for over half their life. And when I say networking, I mean business networking, over half their life. I started my first business when I was 14, and because I look like this, I'm a big blue bitch, and I could pass for a 25-year-old at fucking 10, I was able to get away with it. So, and that may not be the same for you, but I have been doing this for a very long time. And repeating yourself over and over and over again gets boring. And then you find yourself procrastinating and you find yourself avoiding, and you burn yourself out on your own farts. Because when you are growing your personal brand, you kind of got to beef yourself up a bit. Sometimes you got to, think you're bossy, think you're the shit to get things going. But to do that every single day, constantly, is exhausting. That is why everyone who you know has a personal brand has used it with content in some description. Even for the people who are... Now, you can base your success on money. Totally can. I do not personally base success on how much money some people have. But you could see the success of some people because the press is following them around, creating them free content. But they still want to be able to control the narrative. For better or for worse, hopefully for worse. And for you, you're able to use that tool as consistently or inconsistently as you want. But people are still going to want to research you before they reach out to you. People are going to want to know how you work before they even reach out to you. Why? Because that's just how it works nowadays. I remember I listen to history podcasts and I enjoy a documentary every week or so. And you see how the people honestly, 1980, give or take, you had to just go by reputation. You had to go by gossip, by word of mouth. And you had to just kind of hope for the best. No wonder there was so much crime and so much... so many people doing terrible things because they could just get away with it. Now, I'm not saying you should do bad things and get away with it. Your personal brand will be tarnished immediately when you start doing things that are not helpful to anyone. In this day and age, people want to know that they're putting their money in the right place. Because things are getting tighter, things are getting more extreme, and people want to know that they can trust that you are going to be delivering what they asked for. And that's just how it works now. A referral alone is no longer enough. I can't tell you how many times someone has referred me to someone and I have immediately Googled them, immediately jumped on Google, immediately looked at their LinkedIn, their Instagram, their website, check them out. Because going on just a word of mouth alone, because someone might hear your name from a trusted contact, but still go straight to your website, your LinkedIn, before they even send you a message, because they want to scope you out. They want to check you out because your good reputation will get you on the radar, but your content is what is going to keep you there and build your case as to why you're the right fit. It's going to do the work for you. Now, yes, I'm hearing some people, you can definitely speak on stage and do all that work. But again, where do they go after that? They see you on stage, they see you on TV, they see you on a podcast, they find you somewhere in the world. And then they go straight to a website. They go straight to a social media platform of choice. They go straight to something that can corroborate what you say and what you do. Yes, if you have a good reputation and a good ecosystem and a good network, that will get you in the room. but it won't get you in front of them. Or even in front of them enough for them to make a decision, to take action with you. And that simple action could be joining your email list, taking a freebie, or, maybe taking one of your lower tier offers. And then they're in your ecosystem and you can slowly work them up. Well done! Welcome to capitalism, but also welcome to your business. Your content is your proof. It is your evidence. And feel free to check out our other podcast episodes specifically around evidence and proof, because this is something that I delivered a lot to my custom workshop clients over the past couple of years. It shows your knowledge. This content that you put out there, be it rushed that you filmed in your car for 2 to 3 seconds, or something that has a full production team behind it, it shows your knowledge. It shows your communication style. It shows your values. And ultimately, it shows your expertise, your wisdom, your connoisseurship. And without any of those, you have to have just a physical presence. And that's just not enough nowadays. Now, I know that may seem very you're making me do more, Zoe, and I feel you. But AI has blurred the edges, and people are searching for real professionals to solve their real problems and are still looking for real humans who genuinely do the work. Yes, AI can make things look polished, but also it's fake. And for a lot of people, it does look cheap. And for those who aren't able to ascertain whether something is AI or not, once they do find it out is AI, either by family, friends, or whoever, or they find it themselves, they are going to feel cheated. They're going to feel like, oh, that wasn't true. Oh, what you showed me wasn't achievable. Or maybe it's a 1 in a million. Humans are smarter than that. Not all of us. Not all the time. And I going on a tiny little bit of a rant here. I personally believe that humans aren't inherently dumb. It's just contextual. Yes, people can make terrible decisions. And that's usually for many reasons, but usually because they're stressed and they're tired. Or they've got other things to think about, or they just weren't thinking clearly. And I think that's for everyone. Because if someone was truly dumb, they wouldn't be breathing. If someone was truly dumb, they wouldn't be eating. They wouldn't be doing anything if they were truly dumb. Now, of course, I'm not saying, do not take this out of context in regards to anyone with a disability, because if you are human, you are thinking, you are feeling, you are a human being, and you aren't dumb just because you are not making the right decision in the moment. You're working with the facts that you've got. Now, some people, and I've recently had a couple of these, believe that I shouldn't exist or I shouldn't be alive because I am a woman, because I am very, very, very gay or queer, whichever word you like to use. And I see that as ignorance, as bigotry, and it is very harmful. But I don't think they're dumb. Now I can call them dumb and call them stupid, because that is my prerogative and I'm free to do that. I do not judge them for that. I judge them for their actions. And if you are someone who is watching or listening to me who has said that to me, poo-poo to you. And understand that I can take you down in a fight. I'm training. Stop getting distracted, Zoe. Pulling back onto the script because I ranted about something completely off topic. If someone, a potential customer, a client, a referral partner, a network, or maybe someone who's a complete stranger to you who will probably never buy from you, if someone's question can be fully answered and articulated by AI, they probably didn't need a professional in the first place. And they most definitely didn't need you. Your clients are worth working with because they want to see that you exist. They want proof that you're going to show up. And they want to know implicitly that you know what you're talking about. Even if you're new to an industry, even if you're completely unaware or clueless about something, You still have the passion. You're still doing this. You're still growing yourself and your knowledge and your wisdom to be able to service them, to serve them better. Your reputation without anything to back it up, proof, is incredibly hard to find. It is hard to verify, and it is hard to share with others. You can't get away in this modern age with a image that was taken in the 1980s, unless you're in some sort of true crime podcast, to be perfectly honest, or dead. If you are still working, wanting to serve, and wanting to do your best for the people that you are there to serve, your content and your content marketing is that tool in your tool belt that gives your reputation somewhere to live and something to point to. Now I'm saying, do you need to constantly bring this tool out of your tool belt? No. And this is coming from someone who does it every single day for myself and my clients. But having a foundation is the basic first step. Your personal brand without content marketing? Yes, technically. You could totally do and forego everything that I've said this entire podcast episode. But I don't want that for you. I don't want you to have to work harder to prove what your content can already be showing people. I don't want you to have to put in that work every single day over many, 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 many years and get yourself burnt out and resentful of your own message, of your own people, of your own values. Because your personal brand is ultimately broader than just content marketing. Even though that may be the first tool that you may get out of your tool belt, content marketing is one of those effective tools. I don't get that wrong. That's what I do. But content ultimately is a trust-building exercise. It is something that is going to work for you repeatedly without you needing to be in the room, without you needing to be in the phone, staring at the person on the other end. Your reputation, the thing that precedes you, that gets you into those rooms, still matters. People will research you. No matter what, people are going to find out more about you. And before they reach out, they want to make sure that they are making the right choice. And to do so, you need to give them something to find. Because your proof is content. Your content is proof. Your expertise, your wins, your values, your skills, and maybe even your losses and your mistakes. Because you are a human being. And you need a format that people can see and hear that in. And your content gives you that reputational reach, that longevity, and honestly, something more concrete that new people can be pointed towards better than anything else, which is why I do what I do, because it is more proof. Now, I'd work with people who have come across with this. Now, I understand a feeling and a worry of, but do I need to create new things every day? No. You just need to be consistent. You need to have a bedrock foundation that you can use. And to start with that bedrock foundation, may I recommend checking out these next two episodes, which is episode 109 and 110. So a nice little collection there for you, specifically talking about how content isn't your strategy. And this is where we go much deeper into everything that we've just discussed. And episode 110, which is the 5 messaging mistakes that small business owners make. Because it is okay to make mistakes. You are putting yourself out there. You are building the habit of giving a foundation to your audience for them to do something with, for them to research you, to recommend you, and for that message to do the work for you. That's the reason why content is so effective. Not just because you can do it once and forget about it, but because it does that work for you that you don't want to do every single day, because it is exhausting. So, I want you to line up those podcast episodes. Like I said, 109 and 110 of the Unboring Your Brand podcast. Feel free to check that out in the description below. And I want you to do something for me. Now, of course, I've thrown a lot at you, like I do every single podcast episode. And feel free to check out the show notes for a more broken down, detailed breakdown of today's episode. And if you don't quite like my rambling, you like my ideas, but you don't like my rambling as much, I have had a couple of comments about that. Hi, love your work. I want you to pick one thing that you're well known for and maybe something that you explain to clients regularly. And I want you to turn that into a quick 30-second video. Maybe it's a question that you answer so often. Maybe it's like a short video, maybe a voice note on LinkedIn, or maybe even a paragraph within your website. Whatever that may be, whatever you're more comfortable with, I don't really mind. Of course, if it's a video, great. I have plenty of tools to help you with that. And if it's not, I'm not going to hold it against you. Take that opportunity to look at that camera lens as if it is your client and be genuine, be warm, speak how you would speak. You don't need to put on airs and graces. I certainly don't. Take that opportunity to answer that question so you don't have to answer it over and over again. People are going to ask you the question in the future, yes, but you can point them towards the video because you've already done the work. Honestly, I want you to just take action on this. Even if you are someone who's been putting off creating this type of content for you, for yourself, because of whatever reason, book in a disco chat with me. Book in a 13-minute chat where we can spend that time focusing on your personal brand and making that change. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do everything that I recommend, but I want to give you a good start because you're worth it. See me and hear from me next week. Make sure to chat on the socials. Show notes and resources are the first link in the description, and the second link in the description takes you straight to something that I think is worth checking out. If you got value out of today's episode, and of course you did, please drop a review on your podcast catcher of choice or however you're listening or watching this podcast. It takes 2 minutes and it really means a lot. Thank you. This podcast was made on Wadawurrung land. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Until next week, show up, be seen, get